So there you are, driving in the canyons in your stock, quiet car, and then you hear it. The rumble, the growl of a C8 Corvette or something beautiful with that beautiful sounding exhaust. And now you go home, you're sleeping, you're tossing and churning, you can't stop thinking about it, you dream about it, you want it deeply, you want it so, so bad. And then you go out to turn on your car and it makes no noise. Well, guess what? You too can have that. You too can have the noise, the power, the feel of that exhaust system. So, let's go over everything you need to know about exhaust. So, what is an exhaust? Well, it's this right here. It takes the exhaust fumes from the engine, sends it through these pipes here, down to a catalytic converter, which cleans it up. It's a big filter, it cleans up the fumes and all that. Through this mid pipe to this resonator, which takes out a lot of that droning noise that you hear in the vehicle. And then that goes into this muffler, which is a silencer. It takes out a lot of the loud noise, takes it down a notch, and it just makes your car sound different. It makes it sound either good or really bad. So let's go over all the different types of exhausts there are. Number one is a full exhaust system, which I have here. It includes the headers, a high flow catalytic converter or a test pipe, the mid pipe, the resonator, and the muffler. This is a full exhaust system, completely aftermarket. It wakes your car up. It's less restrictive. It allows more fumes to pass through there at a higher rate of speed. And there's not a lot of like filters in the way or stuff like that. The second type is the catback exhaust. It's basically what the name states. From the catalytic converter back, it comes with the mid pipe, a resonator, and the muffler. And it changes the sound of your car and adds a bit of performance to it as well. The third type is a turbo back exhaust. So usually in that application, the headers go straight into the turbo to feed the exhaust fumes into the turbo. It's what spools up the turbo. And then from there, the exhaust fumes exit the back of the turbo, and that's where the exhaust starts. It goes from there down to the downpipe, all the way back to the mid pipe, the resonator, and the muffler. The last type of exhaust is an axle back exhaust, which is mainly just from the axle back, which could be considered just a muffler by itself. It's the cheapest way to upgrade your exhaust system. Just adds a bit of a different tone to your car. It makes it sound really cool, and it adds a bit of, performance. So you may ask, why even get an aftermarket exhaust? Well, it allows the fumes to flow better through the exhaust, making it less restrictive and allowing you to get those extra horsepower gains out of the vehicle. It could push out a lot more air. You'd want to pair that with a nice intake system so it could be less restrictive as well, so it's pulling in as much air as it's pushing out. Installing your exhaust is actually pretty easy. You might need some help from a friend, but you could also use the jack as well. I like to put the exhaust on in pieces, so I would put the headers first and then put all this little by little, from the headers back, and leave everything bolted up loosely so that when I got to tighten everything down, I make sure that all this is nice and aligned. All these bolts are nice and torqued down. This gasket's aligned so that you don't have any leaks and the fumes can pass through effortlessly.